Okay. All right. So, how you guys doing? Good. All right. So, let's talk about money. I'm sure you heard things like money is the root of all evil.
Right.
Money doesn't buy happiness. Money does buy happiness. It takes money to make money, right? Okay. So with all these conflicting things, it's really hard to say what the truth is, okay? So today what we're going to do is we're going to uncover what I think is information that will help you get to the answers that you want today, okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about is actually something that is outside of money, but it has a lot to do with money, okay? It's called Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. You guys seen this before?
Yes.
Wait, yes.
Okay.
Psych, yeah.
In psych, right? You know anything about it?
The different needs and the different components of your self-esteem as a person.
Okay. How does that apply to life or anything?
How does it apply to life?
Yeah.
I think it applies to how you carry yourself. So in everyday life, I think it deals with everything.
So as you can tell, like when you learn it in school, it's very hard to apply these ideas into like a real life situation, right? So like I'm gonna help you sort of understand this, and that's why school is sort of messed up, but we'll talk about it. But ultimately, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is every level from the bottom up to the top. The higher you get, the happier and more content you are. So the bottom is survival. Like you're a homeless person. Like you might not even have food, and you're like just hoping that you don't die. How happy can you really be? All right. So that's survival. The next level up is security. You're that homeless person. You finally got a job, and you can sort of have a place to live, and some food on your table, and it's pretty consistent. Okay. Would you say that person's happier than the original homeless person? Right. The next level up is love and belonging. That homeless person all of a sudden has kids, has a wife, has friends that love him, and he belongs to a family circle. He belongs to a group of friends like you guys do. And would you say that that person is now happier than the previous level? Mm-hmm. Right? The next one is esteem. Is its importance, its respect, its recognition, status, okay? Is once they have this family unit, they have these, they belong to social circles, they have a job. If they got a job that they're now the boss at, that's esteem, right? They're respected at, right? All their friends think they're like their best friend. So they feel good and they have this esteem. So it's really, I think of esteem as more of importance. Like you feel important. You feel like you're the dad of the family or the boss of people or something like that. Some people get a title and they feel important, okay? Some people get a raise and it makes them feel good, right? So that's esteem. The next one is self-actualization. This is what we strive for when we work here. It's the desire and the belief that you can be the greatest version of yourself, okay? Most people never see this and they only get a glimmer here and there, okay? So that's sort of a hard thing to do, but once you get there, you're the upper echelon, okay? So how does this relate to money? Money does buy happiness to a certain degree. Would you agree?
Yes. Studies
have shown that money and happiness has a direct correlation to about $70,000 a year. So if you make $30,000, all of a sudden you make $60,000, you're probably a lot happier. Once you make $70,000, you're even happier than that. Once you make $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, happiness does not change because of your money, okay? But why do people want to make more money?
To provide.
To what?
Provide.
To provide? But it doesn't make them happier.
For I think they're more comfortable to like do things that they've always wanted, like travel or stuff like that.
Yeah. But why do they travel? Because they want to be happier, right?
Right.
So it's sort of a strange question though, okay? So let's just go through a sort of a standard common loop. You're not homeless, so we're not even gonna worry about that. We'll go with security and safety. Do you know what the average, you know what the percentage of Americans that live paycheck to paycheck is? Do you happen to know the current stat?
Hi.
Just take a guess.
I would say over 50%.
Over 50?
I was gonna say like 60 something.
60?
I was probably gonna say like 45.
40? Okay. Trini, you're the closest. 76%. I could be wrong, it depends on the exact thing, but it's somewhere in the 70s, okay? It's over 2/3 of the people that you know live paycheck to paycheck. Okay? That means if they miss one paycheck and then they have to wait another 2 weeks for a paycheck, which is basically a whole month of not having any money,
Right.
they all of a sudden fall behind on their bills. Now, when you all of a sudden fall behind your bills, which level are you worried about?
Safety.
Yeah, security and safety. But let's just say you have that job, you've been pretty secure with it, you've worked there for a couple years and nothing wrong, you don't expect to be fired or anything like that, right? You start a family, you have some friends, awesome, right? But then you want more. You want to go on your nice vacation. You want to put it on Instagram so you feel cool and important. You have a family of 3, but you buy a 7-bedroom house in Frisco. Instead of buying a Camry, because that's what you're making, $70,000 each, you should be buying a Camry or something or less. You buy an Audi, you buy a Lambo, probably not a Lambo, but ultimately you buy like a BMW or a Mercedes, okay? Then all of a sudden, you accrue all this monthly payment, okay? Where are you now? Are you still like up here, like feeling, you're always worried every single month. Oh my God, I definitely can't get fired. Definitely have to live on a budget. You know what? If my stocks go down, we're screwed, right? Oh my God, we dipped into our savings. Okay. Oh, honey, you got laid off. Where are you now? Security. So what happens is that people who move past the security and they begin to buy esteem or begin to purchase esteem, all of a sudden end up back at security and safety over and over and over again. Any small little thing. Oh, I had to miss work for a month. If they're like that, then all of a sudden they go back to here. So this cycle continues throughout their entire life. When you live paycheck to paycheck, you're always in this area. You might move up here on occasion, you might be able to buy your way up here and there, but can you ever feel like you're in control, which is self-actualization? You're a prisoner or an indentured servant of the things that you have. Okay? So that's, would you say now you understand Maslow's hierarchy needs a little more and it makes a little more sense? It's like, no one worries about food and shelter. It's pretty easy, okay? You can go to a homeless shelter and it'd be fine, okay? But most people are stuck in this safety area. But they live in this world that they believe that they're happy. But when you go on a nice vacation, are you happy? Are you buying happiness? Are you happy actually when you're on vacation? Yeah, well you think. But what's the difference between pleasure and happiness? Everyone pleasure seeks. When you buy a cool car, it's really cool for the first couple months. But then after that, it's just the car. And every once in a while, when you pull up to a hot girl or a hot guy with your cool car, it feels cool. But then 98% of the time, it's just a car. Same thing with your 7-bedroom house when you have 3 people in it. It's cool until it's not cool. All right? The idea is there's a difference between happiness and pleasure, and I'm going to define it a little bit more clearly, and my definition is just arbitrary, just what I think. Okay? You guys come up with your own. Pleasure is short-lived. Happiness has longevity. Happiness, I think, is more like contentment. Are you happy with who you are and what you have? Do you need to have more to be happy? No. Are you happy with what you have? Yeah. Then you're happy, probably. Okay? If you seek pleasure, what are drugs? Drugs are pleasure, right? How many people go from one job to the next promotion, to the next job, to earn more and more and more, but it's never enough? Yeah, you can take that first hit of crack and you're like blown away. But then if you smoke crack every day, you don't really like that one hit anymore. You need 5 hits. So you go from a 3 series BMW to a 5 series to a S500 Mercedes to a Porsche to a McLaren, and then when you're at the top of the mountain, you look around, you go, why am I still unhappy? Unhappiness exists at the lower echelons of society all the way up. Okay? So now that you guys sort of have the idea of like how money sort of can buy happiness to a certain degree, but also buys pleasure, and it's a sort of an illusion.